Superman Legacy, the first official James Gunn, Peter Safran, DC, brand new DCU universe coming in 2025. We've already got a couple of castings announced, right? We've got David Cornsweet, who's going to be Superman. We got Rachel Brosnahan from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, who's going to be Lois Lane. Perfect casting in that role. And now we officially have the names of a couple of more cast members, led off by Nathan Fillion. Yes, Nathan Fillion, who has worked with James Gunn all the way back to, what was it? Slither.
Slither, yeah.
Oh my God. That's my favorite James Gunn movie, by the way, still to this day. And then, of course, he was recently just in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And a lot of people suspected that we might find a role for him in the new DCU. A lot of people actually thought he'd make a good Booster Gold, which actually isn't a bad idea. But now we have found out that Nathan Fillion is going to be playing Green Lantern, but maybe not the one you're thinking of. He's going to be playing Guy Gardner, which I think is just perfect. Okay, because Guy Gardner might actually be my favorite Green Lantern, not because he's the best, but because he's the best to read. He's got this great attitude that he's such a total dick and yet likable all at the same time. I love Guy Gardner, and I think Nathan Fillion playing him is going to be really cool. Now, there's a couple of other castings as well. Dora the Explorer, Isabella Merced, has joined the cast as well. She's going to be playing Hawkgirl. And Eddie Gathegi has joined the class. You might remember him from, he was in Twilight, but he was also in X-Men First Class as Darwin. I actually really like him. I think he's really quite good. And he's going to be in there playing Mr. Terrific. Okay, so I have a couple of thoughts about all this in general. First of all, let's talk about Isabel. In what should have been a really completely dismissed out of hand movie with Dora the Explorer, a bunch of people watched it and actually like, wow, this is actually better than one might think. And before you worry that she's too young, like she's 13 or something, Isabella is 22 years old. She's perfectly good for this. But she actually won a lot of people over with that Dora the Explorer movie that she did. And so it's going to be really interesting seeing this role. What James Gunn has in mind for the Hawkgirl role, not totally sure, but I think this is an interesting casting. I really like Eddie Gathegi, but I'm going to admit right now, I am not a fan of the Mr. Terrific character. And I don't know how I feel about that character being there. But then again, just because of the way I've seen Mr. Terrific portrayed on comic book pages and stuff like that, that might not be what James Gunn has in mind. And so I'm going to adopt a wait and see approach with that. But Nathan Fillion, man, let's focus on this for a second. Nathan Fillion is, I think it is fair to say, he is a fan favorite. People love Nathan Fillion. I mean, whether it's, go all the way back to Buffy. Right? Good Canadian kid, by the way, Nathan Fillion. Of course, Firefly, Serenity is where he kind of became a household name amongst geek houses. And then he had a couple of shows that far exceeded, actually, Serenity. He had, what was the one where he was...
Not Bones. It was...
Not Bones, but the other one that was like that.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the one I kind of watch and enjoy right now, he's got that cop show going into its 4th or 5th season, something like that, called The Rookie.
Yeah, The Rookie.
Which he's really good in. But that other one, he was like a writer shadowing a cop or a detective or something like that. And those are both long-running shows. A lot of people forget that Firefly/Serenity only really lasted one season. But him coming in there... No, look, my one worry, though, about Nathan Fillion taking on the role of Guy Gardner is that it's going to be a one-shot. I hope this opens the door for Nathan Fillion to be a recurring, not in every movie, but a recurring character in the DC Cinematic Universe. But here's actually the biggest takeaway for me in the castings of Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and Guy Gardner. This is the biggest reveal out of all this, is that we have just learned so much about where this DCU is going to be when it starts. This is not going to be Man of Steel, most underrated comic book film of all time, by the way. This isn't going to be a Man of Steel where the world has never known superheroes. And Superman in Man of Steel was something the world has never seen and all that kind of stuff. This is a DCU that we already knew was not going to cover the origin stories of Superman again, because we've seen it a lot in movies. But we're not even getting an origin story of heroes in the world. This is going to be a DCU that starts off with the idea that there are these special, superpowered beings in the world of this DCU, that Superman is not just suddenly new on the scene, but we're in a world where there are Green Lanterns, where there are Hawk Girls, where there are Mr. Terrifics, and probably a lot of others. This isn't going to be an origin story for a world first learning about super beings, right? And I think this is one of the biggest pieces of insight that we've had into James Gunn's brand new DCU than we've had in this entire time so far. And it doesn't hurt that I'm a huge Nathan Fillion fan, so I'm really excited to hear about this. Again, not super excited about Mr. Terrific. It's going to be really interesting to see Isabella play Hawk Girl, but to me, the news here is Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner, and the fact that now we know this is going to be a world that is already used to having super beings in it, and I think that tips us off a lot. We want to take a second and thank the sponsor of this video, Birddogs. You know, as a guy, there's only two things that are important to me when it comes to fashion: looking good, and even more importantly, being comfortable. And that's where our sponsors, Birddogs, come to the rescue. Offering everything from pants like stretch khakis, joggers, and sweatpants, to shorts like gym shorts and swimsuits, and even great looking and comfortable polo shirts. Birddogs, like their stretch khaki shorts, are designed to fit slimmer through the thighs and legs, giving you a truly sculpted look. Birddogs shorts fit way better than regular shorts that are made of a stiff, restricting cotton. You see, Birddogs fixed this issue by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. And that's just one of the reasons that by wearing Birddogs, you're gonna look good and, more importantly, feel good. So guys, go to birddogs.com/Campea for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/Campea for a free Yeti-style tumbler. Use code Campea. You won't want to take your Birddogs off. We promise you. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this news? What do you think about the castings that we've got? Do you like the pairings? Do you like the performers they've got in there? I actually like all the performers very much. Let's see how they match up with whatever James Gunn's version of those characters in his head are. We'll find out as we get there. Whatever you guys think, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. Did you know that we have a daily podcast, hour long, every single day, Monday through Friday, that you can find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice? Just search for the John Campea Show podcast.